Hello. Where is every? Oh, hang on. Whoa. That helps. Man. Hi. Welcome to DWIT 3D on this special 1 hour early edition on a Sunday night. It's an hour early for various reasons, but I'm a single dad today, and I have some responsibilities later on, so I didn't want my stream running into those responsibilities, so we're going 1 hour early tonight. So, yes. Welcome everybody that's in chat so far. I got to do a couple little things, and then I'm going to bring in our honored guest. So everybody in chat, let me see who's in chat so far. We have our early birds, like Liam is there, SPC3D. We have Edgar Cornett. Woohoo made another live stream. Glad you did, and it's exciting that you got your RatRig coming in. I know what it's like to wait. It can be painful. Stephen Poole, non-fam. Kieran, the troublemaker. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Kieran's here. Ex-Photon Tim Giamaco. I hope I said that right. We have Dwayne King, Dennis Epley, Maker Viking, welcome Tripod John, hello. Philippe La Chapelle, Chris Black, Maria Webster, hello Maria Webster, all the way from way far away from here. You're down in the beach country. Yes, you are. There she is. Thanks for being the best dad. I'm trying. You know, see, it's little things like that you got to think of when you're looking after a child. He's at the aunts right now playing with the cousins, so the only noise you may hear is the dog barking upstairs. But yeah, well, I've got to pick him up after the stream and do the the old bedtime routine. So that's great. Canada represent. Yes, thank you, Philippe. Perfect. And Lord Boo, hello, welcome everybody. Before I start, I want to do a shout out from last week. Let me look it up here. My notifications seem to be coming a little bit late lately, and I'm going to try and figure out why. But last week I had a $5 donation from a Wyatt Thompson. So Wyatt Thompson, thank you so much for that donation. That came in again after the stream ended. So I'm going to keep a closer eye on this and find out why the lag in my notifications. So thank you very much. That was appreciated. Another shout out I'd like to do today is to, let me take this off. This is kind of hot. This is a great little device, by the way, if anybody's ever used one of these and you're blind like me. That is amazing for doing close-up work. Picked that up the other day. I want to do a shout out to Richard and Bryan over at the First Layer. It is their 4th year of YouTube streaming this year of their channel, and so happy birthday to the First Layer, 4 years. And I can see many more years in their future. They did a great stream today. They're back on track, and there's some really exciting stuff coming up for the First Layer as we go on. I happen to have a little inside information, but that's all I can say. But yeah, happy 4th birthday to the First Layer. If you're not subscribed to them, go ahead and subscribe to the First Layer. They do a live Ask Question show every Sunday at noon. And they also put out videos throughout the week. I believe they put out a video on Saturday, and then they have their live stream on Sunday, and that varies on and off. But they got some exciting stuff coming up. So that's the First Layer, guys. Go say hi to them. So without further ado, let me get my mouse in control here. There we are. We are going to bring in our special guest, as always. Everybody give him a very warm welcome. Jason. How are you,
Oh, that's
Jason?
me. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. You know, everybody can relax now. I'm here.
Jason's here. Yeah, everybody relax. I figured I was streaming early. Is Jason going to realize that? But he did, as did everybody else. That's great. So Astro Printer says, Tim has soldering set up. We've seen how bad you are with electronics. I don't mean to break your heart, Liam, but I don't know if I'm going to be using this tonight. I was using this earlier today. So we've got a lot done on this in the last week since we spoke last week. Like if you look, I'm going to show you this view here. There is a lot of wires running up there now. So we have pretty much every wire that has to come from the hot end is connected and headed down towards the back. Now, there was a lot of little connector building, little clip crimping and all that. I did a lot of that in advance because that's probably more boring than watching paint dry, is watching somebody like myself fiddle with these tiny little connectors on stream, live, right? There's nothing worse than that live. And if I were to sit here spending an hour dealing with putting little pins in this and crimping, you guys would either fall asleep, leave, or unsubscribe. And I didn't want any of that to happen. So I did a lot of that. Huh?
What? Did I miss something?
Yeah. Oh, I see you. I see. Just talking about it, right? See, just talking. You almost fell asleep there. Tripod says he might know something about soldering. I think he would, but I got to admit, when I first started doing, when I started soldering the most was when we started doing the droid build with Jason and John and Jerry and Sam and Marcel. And I had a cheap soldering iron. I thought I was doing okay. I went out and bought this Weller soldering stick. Yeah, it is off good. I guess I should have checked it before I touched it, but yeah, it's off. So anyways, I went out and bought this Weller soldering station, and it was well worth the investment. I know that people out there that are good at soldering could solder with whatever you give them. They could probably solder with a match, but this thing has made my life so much easier, and it really helped. And you'll see me doing a little bit of soldering in a video shortly, because I'm not going to do some stuff live, but I did make a little video clip to show you what I have been doing. So I'd rather show you a 3-minute video than bore you with 2 hours of that. Right, Jason? I think that's fair, So
more than fair. You are a generous and kind streamer.
Exactly. I mean, the last thing I want to do is no different than all the other streams. Astro, ouch. Hang on, let me turn around so you can put that knife in deeper. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
How's that track cart coming for your telescope coming, Liam? How's that going? So as we can see here, I've made quite a bit of progress. If I spin this around a little bit, whole lot cleaner in here. It looks nicer. I just have to get a wire loom going for the top, et cetera, et cetera. I have kind of everything running into the back now, basically coming down the center into the back. I drilled a hole actually live on Jerry's stream yesterday in the back of this thing, and I took flack for that too. But hey, you drill a hole and people think the world's coming to an end. But so we have all this ready. I have not touched the mains wiring. I wanted some professionals on here with me while I hook up some mains wiring, which shouldn't be too hard to hook up. But I don't want to do it wrong, and I don't want to fry a board, and I don't want to hurt myself. Although you guys would love to see that. I mean, yes, it's good entertainment, but it may not. We still may do some of that, Tim. We still may.
Yeah.
You never know.
I've had the odd zap here and there, but I mean that's fine. I don't care about me. I don't want to fry any of the electronics on the printer. So yeah. So there we go, and it looks so much cleaner inside now. Somebody's going to see this in the evening, probably Jason, and you're going to point out, you might not even point it out. You may say, man, that guy is stupid because, does he not know how to use a cable clip? Because if you look at what I've done here, and I'm going to point it out before somebody else does. If you look, those cable clips that you sent me the file for that I printed, I don't know if you'll notice something about what's going on with them, right? Do you notice anything interesting about those cable clips? Let's get the light on it right there.
You put them on there's
no cable running the cable clip.
Yeah, because you smashed them in from behind.
The reason I did that is I put the cable clip in first, and it's too loose. It was wobbly. It was turning way too easy.
Really?
So if I use this, if I push the wire in the extrusion, and then push the cable clip in on top of the wire, it's in there nice and snug. So my wiring is actually cleaner with just a few of those cable clips holding it in place. So anyway, that's what I did.
Check, kind of late now, but check how you printed them because they're designed for a snug fit for a 30-30 extrusion. Yeah,
well, let me show you. If I grab
maybe the scaling was off or something, or
well, no, they printed it 100%. They were printed on an Ender 3. Now, you're right. There we go. Should have done the Prusa.
Should have done the Prusa.
Let's start. But if I put this in here, in the extrusion, and turn it, I don't know if you can actually see. If I get closer, maybe. But
that's good. Yeah, that's okay.
It's wobbly.
Wow, that is.
Super loose, right? So whereas I found if I had the cable running in it and then put it in, it held the cable in the extrusion and it held in very tight. So Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, maybe obviously I figured they should have fit snugger than that. But anyways,
Yeah.
I found a workaround. I can always fix it later, but it's fine the way it is. I don't mind. It actually looks clean inside.
It looks good.
Yeah. It looks pretty decent. So other than up top. So okay, so I'll show you what else. Because I know there's some people on here that probably, like me, are getting have their RatRig. They're new to wiring and they've never done any of the crimping that I've had to learn to do. So
You're right, Dennis. I'm just reading the comments.
Oh yeah, I know. I could print out V-slot covers. I may eventually do that. It would look cool with green V-slot covers, but yeah. Anyways, for now, it is what it is. So. In other words, Ender 3 needs to be calibrated. Possibly. Possibly. I could have printed it on the Prusa and see if I had any better luck with that. So, without further adoing, I'm going to show you real quick, and then I'm going to show you a quick video. So, I use a couple different size of these connectors. So, I have my own little connector kit here. Right here. So, I have my own little connector kit that I bought on Amazon. It's pretty decent. I think these are called, I don't even know what they're called. I call them, they're not JST connectors. They are, whatever brand those are. Anyways, is that light on? It's too bright. There we go. So yeah, it's one of these guys. And this kit comes with, it's got 2 pin all the way up to like, I think it's 6 or 7 pin up here, something like that. So I use these to build extension cords type, like an extension cord type thing. And then the other kind I used were the kind that came with the Duet board. And the Duet board came with this sort of a style plug with really, really tiny, little different style pin. So I had to use 2 different crimpers depending on the pin that I was using. So anyways, and then the Duet board also came with these larger pins here, which were used for, I used those to crimp on the heater cartridge plug, which took a little larger cabling and a little larger style plug, little different style plug. So anyways, for these ones were rather simple, especially on the smaller wires. And I use these for making extension cords for the end stop switches, for the BL Touch. And what else did I use it for? I think that was about it. Anything that required the smaller wires. So these wires were pretty simple. I could strip them with my finger and thumb. And all I need is just about, oh gosh, I'd say that's even maybe 2 to 3 millimeters at the most of wire showing. Twist
That's
it a
so
little
manly,
bit.
Tim. Do that again.
Do that again. Hang on. Here, look. The black one. Watch. You ready? And I don't have fingernails, if you notice. Well, a little bit. Watch this. You ready? Look at that.
Wow.
Just, isn't that something? Okay.
I'm
So
impressed.
I use these. Jason recommended the brand called IWIS for the crimpers, and it's just basically there we go. It's just an IWIS crimper. There's this style crimper, and there's sort of this style. So we have one that sort of pushes top to bottom, and this one is more like almost looks like a dinosaur going to eat you. Anyways, so I found for these tiny pins, and this was trying for my tiny hands, and you're going to see why you don't want me to do this live for like 40 of these pins. So I went in from the back side, and I figured that it was this very first one. Oops, this very first one where these fit. I got to stop doing that. I keep going out of camera here. Hang on. Oh, there we go. But I don't want the light on. Anyways, I would sit this pin in here. I have big hands, and this is a major tiny pin. So I sit this in here and try and keep it straight, and then get the. See, it's very difficult.
If you take those back wing, Tim, and you parallel them first, just do it by hand or with a small needle nose, you can set it in there
A little easier.
More straight. Yeah, it'll stay straight up and down a little better.
So that worked. That's sort of in there now. And on the other side, you can kind of see the opening where the wire is going to go in. And then it's just a simple matter. You don't want too much wire showing. It's just a simple matter of, and you'll feel the wire kind of when it hits, because there's 2 stages. So you're going to poke it in there. So the wire is going in the touch, and then you're going to crimp it. Then when it's done, ideally, you're going to have the very first set of grippers is going to grip the shielding of the wire. And then it's really hard to see on these little ones, but inside there's a second set of grippers that are going to grip the actual exposed wire. And then that's on there really tight. And then that just plugs into one of these plugs, but I'll do that a little bit later. But anyways, there's a whole bunch of that going on. It took me about 5 tries to actually figure out how to do that. And it was trial and error on getting what size on this that I wanted, even though they're labeled. But again, it's whatever works. And then, as I say, the other size pins I used that came with the main board, I used this one, and I ended up using it on the end one here, which is the 20 to 18, depending on the gauge of wiring as well. So anyways, the iWis products came with great instructions on how to do it. So I recommend reading those instructions at the same time as well. So that's all I'm going to bore you with that. Okay, that's it. I promise.
And if you want to know, Tim, the kit you bought from Amazon, those connectors are JST. I think they're XH. There's so many JSTs that there's 1,000 different kinds. The ones for the Duet are Molex KK connectors.
Molex. So that's these little ones that came with the Duet Molex.
They're kind of like an off-white. Yeah, Molex KK.
Off-white. And then there was one little different style that it came with the board, which there was 2 of these. One of these was for the heater bed plug, and one of these was for the hot end plug. They took a little heavier gauge wire and a little bigger insert. So, and I don't know if that's a Molex or that's maybe a little different style, but that's the other one that came with the board as well. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you really quick here. If I go to this screen, I just made a little video showing what I did, because rather than do this several times over for this live stream, I thought I would just show this video. So this is me crimping. These are the little heavier gauge wires that I used for, I don't remember what I used these for, but anyways, just crimping the wires. Okay, you don't want too much wire showing, twisting them. Now these are the ones where the plugs were a little bit, the wire was a little bit too thick for that particular connector, so I just did it by hand, and then I carefully inserted that into the crimper. So, and I had to be careful because this was about 8 takes because I kept knocking it off. It kept falling off the wire. So I had to be really careful. So I'm going into the front one there. And the first few I had the shakes. I actually have pretty steady hands here. And then just got to make sure it goes in nice and straight there. And double check, make sure nothing's falling out. Then you do the crimp. And this will give you a better view of how these wires should sit in these things properly. So you see that the housing is crimped under the first set there. And then underneath you see that other little one where the wiring is all crimped. And then you go ahead and insert these things into the connectors. I sped up portions of this video as well because it's like watching paint dry. Okay, you got to make sure they're in nice and tight. Go ahead and put them in, make sure they're in. There we go. I tested it on the board. That one happened to be, I believe, wasn't one of the end stops. That was one of the, I don't know. We'll figure it out. And then this is how I did the other style. So I put those little pin connectors on, put them on the pins, and then what I did was add a little bit of solder in there so that they stayed on the pins. So, and it was real easy to solder these. It didn't take much, just a little bit to run down the throat there so that it hit on the pins. And that one as
Any
well.
reason you didn't just solder the wires directly?
Because I found this was a little easier because they don't move when I put these things on the pins.
Gotcha.
And it looked a little cleaner. Then I took some heat shrink tubing, made sure there was no loose solder in between, took some heat shrink tubing, stuck it down in between, and then I'll speed this up again. Then, of course, we make sure it's tight, and we shrink this down. Watch how fast this shrinks. Look at that. Just like bang, it's going to be like magic. There you go. And then I just, maybe overkill, but I took another piece of heat shrink and heat shrinked all these 3 together, so it was sort of a nice little solid plug.
So Lightspeed, if you're looking for Duet connectors, FLSUN is where I've always gone for them. And for the, since you mentioned that the Duet heater should use ferrules, this particular board, the 3 Mini, it's got a Molex connector. It's not screw terminals, so ferrules won't work.
And that's the other
Since-
style plug here that I use. Yeah. So I just use this other style plug, just sort of to build an extension for the. Basically, what I was doing is building extension cords that would go into the Duet from the various locations on the printer. So there's an extension cord, made sure it fit, made sure that the colors were matching properly, because the one wire I used, the color sequence was a little different. And then so that's the one end, and then we have one that goes into the board, one that goes into the end stop sensor, and boom, that was it. So yeah. So that was my wiring video type thing. So, and to show light speed, I'll show them here. If I get the close-up camera on here, yeah. So where the heaters connect onto this board is right. Lighting's terrible on this thing, but the heater connectors are right here. Right here.
Yeah. Well, that's for the thermistor.
That's for the hot end cartridge. The other one was for the hotbed, but we're not going from the hotbed. We're going from the SSR, if I'm not mistaken,
to power the bed heater. Yeah.
Power the bed heater. Yeah. Whereas normally this is the bed heater power here, and this is the hot end cartridge heater here. So, and those are a little different style plug. And then these ones, what are these ones here? Those are
power.
Those are
so it's going to be your voltage in,
voltage
and the other one's going to be the signal to your SSR.
To my SSR. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. So that's my little. I'd rather have spent what I spent here, 15 minutes on showing you how I did the wiring, rather than spend 2-3 hours here doing the wiring. So, because that seems to be the most tedious part of this thing so far is the wiring. Yeah. So now, the point I'm at now, I've got everything connected. I've got all the wires coming back. I kind of tied them up in a bundle here because I did yank one wire and a plug off the end when I turned this, and it was under here. So that's one disadvantage of a turntable, is that if you have your wires hanging under it, they get snagged. So I think what I could do, what I should do now is I suppose I should get the bed heater on there and get that bed heater wire run. So I could do that, couldn't I? I suppose.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this guy down. Let me clear off the end of this table. And I'm going to try not to knock it off the table.
Yes, Tripod's Garage is correct. It is an AC heated bed, which is probably why Tripod has not been authorized to get a RatRig yet. Because, they're calling him the king of smoke. Just imagine, that's on DC voltage. Imagine if he was on mains.
Yes. So the nice thing about this bed too, as you say, is it just lifts out. I mean, there's really nothing connecting it to those other than these balls. Okay, so you had said that it's going to be a whole lot easier to put this on.
Well, no. So first you want to, it's going to be easier if you take those kinematic ball mounts off and put the magnet on the other side, then flip it over and put the bed heater. That way everything can sit flat. If you try to do, once you try to put the magnet on the top with the 3 points, it wobbles.
Yeah, that makes sense. And if I have the heater plate on there, it's not going to be laying flat.
Right.
Okay, good point. Okay, so we will do that. Take advice from the pro himself, which I call you a pro because you built one of these. And
Karen, I think what Tripod means is having 2 printers on mains just means he has 2 working currently plugged into the wall. Technically, that means they're on mains, not necessarily anything more complex.
Okay, let me just get these balls off. I don't want to lose my balls or my nets, so I'll put them right here in this tray. And I know I'm setting people up. Yeah, I'm getting warm down here. I tend to sweat when I have people watching me work. Beware the air gap. That's what she said, DWIT. I know, yeah. She did say that. Gotta keep a good hold on these. So there we go. So this is the upside down. So I want the magnet to go on this side. We're going to get some of the isopropyls out. 99% IPA.
What's the other 1%?
The other 1%, I would assume, is water. I would assume. But then again, you know what they say about assuming things.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad. Now we have a magnet.
Now, just to be sure, before you start peeling that back, the side of the bed that you have facing you has the countersinks facing you in the hole.
Facing up, yes.
Okay. Okay.
It does. Yes. I've done that before on a smaller bed. I do not want to do that on a bigger bed.
And this you should be very well schooled at sticking things on. Yes.
Now these countersinks, this magnet covers the countersinks a little bit. What if I go this way? Yeah. I can always just cut those corners of the magnet off.
That's what I did. I just put a little 45-degree cut. I clipped the corners and just put it on because it's close, but it's not perfect. Yeah. And the bed is much bigger than the build plate anyway, or the flex plate when you go to put it on. Yeah. I think it's 510 by 510 or 509 or something like that. So you've got some little bit of wiggle room on the bed.
There's a little bit off the corners here. That way I can access those. There we go. And then the back one here. Actually, if I position that right there, and then that'll fit. And I got to a tad more off here. Somebody's going to say, oh no, when you cut the magnet, you break the circuitry.
The magnetism leaks out when you cut it.
It leaks out when you cut it, and it's not going to be as effective.
Yeah.
There we go. So we're going to peel back a little bit of this.
I don't know. Tripod believed it for about a week when I told him.
Okay.
Try to get it as centered, as much as you can. If anything, you want it a little bit more forward, but centered is best.
Yeah, I'm going to have to trim a little bit off this middle hole in the front, which is fine.
Well, that's going to be that's the back of the bed.
Yeah.
And that's really just your ground point. So.
Yeah, there we go. And I know there's going to be a lot of OCD people on this stream that and especially if I make this a little crooked and I made the other thing a little crooked, I mean, come on. I'll never hear the end of it. So.
Oh, no, not the ground point, your mount point. Yeah, your mount point. Yeah. That's one gigantic bed. Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
I like who was it that said it today on Twitter? Lightspeed. He's got it set up in his basement, and he said it looks a lot smaller in DWIT's videos. It's big. It is big.
Yeah. Phrases Tim rarely hears. For 200, Alex. Yeah, I did. I just printed out. I don't know if you remember or if you ever looked through Mr. Badley's his custom droids, but he's got the K1 TT, the kit. It's a little car kind of looking thing because it's got the red LEDs that go back and forth in the front. It's got a little dome on it, and it took 2 print jobs to print the entire assembly on the RatRig. because it fits so many parts at once. Yeah.
There we go. We have a Maganet.
Don't drop that one.
This one? No, that's a heat gun. I'll put that away. That's my cordless heat gun.
It's not a drink. It probably wouldn't have fallen.
This is way back on the desk, if you notice.
Right next to the keyboard. Safe spot.
I didn't even put any of that Jamaican rum in that.
Oh.
Okay, so we want to flip this.
Oh, that's what you're babysitting. You've got good man, good responsible,
Yep.
very responsible.
Here's the back. So this is where the heater is going to come, the wiring from the heater. Now, we'll clean this. It's a 99% IPA.
Let's see who's jumped in new. I think Aaron Souls jumped in,
Hey, Aaron.
and
Barticus. Barticus was on the first live stream today. Hello, Barticus.
Yes, Bardicus.
And Brian said he might try and make it on today.
3D print newbie. Milan is on.
Come on. Okay. Now we have the heater. Now this, again, we're not many instructions, but I'm going to assume, again, centered.
Yeah, because again, you're not going to be printing all the way to the edge, so try to keep as much heat in to the build area as you can.
Okay.
And Jeff Hutchins is on from BC.
Jeff Hutchins. Oh, what they
Yes.
why have they done this? They put a seam down the middle of this. It's not the way I like to do it.
You should write them a sternly worded letter, Tim.
As a well, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat. It's not the way I would do it, but I'm just gonna do it this way. I'm gonna go sideways instead of top to front to back. I'm gonna go side to side.
Okay.
That way.
Matt German, hey, how you doing? Or as on other streams, as he's referred to, Matt Germain. He'll know what that means. He'll know what that is.
A bit more here. Okay.
Well, Kieran, everybody's got to be good for something, right? So if that's what it is, if you want to follow Tim around to see not what to do, then he's contributing. What are you doing?
Thank you. Okay, we are centered.
Eagle Eye Tim.
Eagle Eye Tim. I pride myself when I'm hanging signs and stuff for my business that I can actually put it up, and then I get the level out and I go, perfect. 99 out of 100 times. Then I go and do that to the power supply in the back of this thing. Yeah.
Oh, don't forget, you're also going to have to make one additional cable for your display panel.
Oh, the display panel, yes. And then I got to put it in this thermistor cable.
Yeah,
here.
that's just the connector.
There's going to be a doomer thingy that goes. This goes directly to the JS.
What's a doomer thingy?
This goes a plug. This is going to be a JST connector, and this is going to go to the solid state relay, if I'm not mistaken.
No, well, one of them will go to the solid state relay. The other one will go to you can connect it either at the switch where the mains comes, or you can connect it at the power supply where the mains is.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now I got to put my balls back on.
Oh, Tom, it wasn't hard for me to say Giacomo. It's hard for Tim to say Giacomo.
What's Giacomo? Oh, his last
Or
name.
I think it was Giacomo. Or well, if it was still there, I would read it properly. But now he's just ex photo man Tom. So
Oh, okay.
it's a good thing, like when you at somebody, it autofills.
Yeah. Oops, I think I need to trim that magnet on the backside a little bit there.
Carl Fenton. Hey, Carl.
That bed is heavy. Hey, Carl.
Steady.
There we are. And the front two are fine. Okay. That's got to be 18 pounds. Ah, there we go.
Yes. Put your balls back on.
Yep. Well, they don't hang low and I can't swing them to and fro. Okay, that's just an old.
Noted, I guess.
Okay. This musical interlude is brought to you by when am I putting burgers on the skillet? Yes, no kidding. This has got almost as much cooking surface as my barbecue.
So Astro Printer just shared with everyone that 18 pounds. He probably just Googled it, that it's 8.1 kilograms for the rest of the world. Now, the real question is to ask Carl. Carl, how many stone is this?
Stone.
Now, if he can answer that right off the cuff, if it goes too long in the chat, then we know he Googled it.
But did Liam, did you Google it or did you do it in your head? Because it's 2.2 pounds per kilogram. So
Professor.
1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Okay, let's put the bed back in. Shall we? There we go. Now I can pull this back over. And I just have to do this.
Yes, Lucas. So when you get the heater pad from RatRig, it's a custom one they get from Kinovo with an offset for the wiring, and it has the thermal fuse already in.
And I just have to put this beautiful big build plate on it just because. There's the sound of 500 millimeters of happiness.
Bardicus, you can hand tighten those. They don't really go anywhere. Not a whole lot of, they're not going to vibrate loose or anything. The weight of the bed itself is going to keep probably more thread tension than you want on those screws anyway. But
okay, so
they don't actually move. So
I do get to do a bit of plug making here for you folks, just to bore you a little bit, because I've got to put a connector on the end of this thermostat.
there's a comment for you, Tim.
I pay extra for that. Do you
One up from there.
do you hand tighten the magnetic balls, or do those need to be vice tightened? I hand tighten them. I put the Allen wrench underneath, held it with my hand, which is almost as strong as a vice. I just snug them. They're snug. I
meant the one from Astro Printer.
Oh, you meant the one from Astro Printer.
Yes.
2.2 is an easy conversion.
Keep going. It's next to last. Oh, are you looking in YouTube?
I'm looking in YouTube. Oh, here. Tim does not tighten his balls as they go in his wife's handbag. There must be a little bit of a delay.
Yes. Well, she's away, so the balls are out for play right now.
Oh, YouTube didn't allow that. Because Kieran's comment is there. I pay extra for that built over bought. And then on YouTube, it doesn't allow that.
At first, I thought Kieran was saying he pays extra for that type of comment that Astro printer, and I was like, okay, well, that's personal. But
so there's a comments being edited out. Built over bot made a comment. Not everyone is comfortable with vices on their balls. Did not show up on YouTube. Interesting.
To each their own.
Well, but YouTube is censoring.
That's yes.
They're censoring the word balls. Wow. Okay. Who am I to judge? Okay. Well, first thing I'm going to check here real quick.
I judge.
I need to check which connector here I need for the thermostat. So I'm going to quickly open.
Oh, Bardicus, look, you just watched Tim do it. You can do it. Anybody can do it.
Yeah. Oh, Bardicus, believe me, when I first started this build, it's exactly how I felt. There's no way I figured I could get as far as I have. Jason's been a great help. A lot of the wiring I've done on my own, which is great because it was a good education for me. RatRig.com. I just have to pull up and I can show everybody what I'm doing here. I'm just going to go into the documentation. See that new enclosure they've got?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
You basically buy, all you're buying is the hardware. And then
Yeah.
you got to supply all your own Doomer things. And they got an interesting new filament holder too.
So this uses Doomer things too.
It uses Doomer things too.
Doomers are quite versatile.
Those Doomer things are versatile. And here's what I'm looking for. There's the hotbed thermistor goes right there.
Yes.
What? And this is a question I had for you. Okay, these little exclamation marks here. Those are the end stop sensors.
Yes.
Why is there a little exclamation mark there?
Because if you look into the documentation, it tells you, if you look at the wiring from the plug going towards the end stop, you see the twist.
Yes.
Because they want you to swap those wires so that they're either the way that they've got it configured is for either normally open or normally closed.
Okay.
So they nudge you towards the safest way.
Well, I wired it just like it's showing right here.
Then you'll be fine.
I wired it blank, white, black, blank, red. So
then you just want to make sure that when it gets to the micro switch that it's set up the same way. So with the little switch on, the red should be towards where the micro switch contact actually is. Underneath the little metal lever.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I need to. So we got a thermostat right there. Thermostats are non-polarity conforming. I don't know. In other words,
polarized.
There's no plus or minus on them. Oh, look, and they've even bared the wires for me here. So you guys get to have some fun close-up, boring work watching me here. So what the heck? I have to do it. You got to watch it. Damn it. So we're going to twist this guy. We're going to twist this guy. Oh, that's a mess.
Oh, built over bot, you might need a third category. Somebody who's here for both.
Watch him build the printer, and how many are here to judge how he builds it? Hey,
because and a third, how many are here not to actually build one, but will judge and never build one?
Good one.
Yes.
Will judge and never build. These thou shalt not judge until thy has strong. I don't know. Anyways, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yes.
2 of those.
And that's probably where you know, like tripod would be, because we know he's not going to get one. He won't get one passed by the CFO.
Okay.
He's going to get the V Minion, the little one.
There we go.
Oh yeah, Jerry. He started an hour early today.
Yeah, I did, Jerry. You didn't get the memo? Oh, that wiring. I don't know where they got. No, I got to clean that up. You got too much wire coming out of this. Where's my thingamabobbers? Oh, they're on the other side of this. Gotta grab my. There they are. Oh. Let me clean this up. I find with this particular stripper I've got, it doesn't work on tiny wires. Well, that worked on a tiny wire. Look at that. Make me a liar. There we go. Now.
So you see that, Maria? He's using strippers while you're gone.
Oh, you little shit disturber. Strippers. Whoa. Come closer. Come closer. There we go. Just like that. Bob's your uncle. Now the next one, let's clean it up again as well.
I hope you have a better time than I had with the frame Lightspeed, because when I initially built the frame, had it all square. Once I got the X gantry on, it was a whole different game. Then I started noticing the minor twists, because I believe these are Masumi, that they do order them from Masumi, but I could be wrong. But you know, even Masumi doesn't have perfect. I don't think anybody has perfect extrusions. I mean, that's just not a perfect process. But I know some people have gotten some pretty bad twists in a few of their pieces. Not many people, but you know, out of everybody who's bought a RatRig. But when you get, obviously, as you get longer extrusions, even minor things become very. What's the word I'm looking for, Tim?
Magnify.
They magnify, yeah, over length. So I had to make some tweaks.
Kieran will correct us. There's a scientific word for it when, you know, if something's out of whack.
Right.
If something's out of whack here, it becomes
it
more.
It translates, right? It translates across. Is that the word?
Yeah, I don't know. Kieran will correct.
Or a word. Translate is a word. It may not be the right word.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Corex Ys are super sensitive to that. Yeah. Add on the linear rails and the belts, and yeah, your belt paths need to be as straight as, you know, possible.
And one more. See, this is like watching paint dry. Can you imagine watching me do this over and over and over? No.
How long does this take? I'm gonna set my alarm. Take
Done.
a quick nap. Oh, okay.
Done. Now these ones I need. I need those U-shaped thingamaboobers for these.
As opposed to the Doomers.
Yeah. So I have.
No, Lightspeed. You should not have gotten that other printer. RatRig was the right choice.
And I got all kinds here. So I'm thinking the blue ones are actually, this might be a better kit. Yeah. So we have, it's not going to be enough wire stripped. It should actually be enough wire stripped on both of these right as it is, but I'm going to want to pull these through the hole first.
Well, Tripod, he's got another week and a half, so give him time.
What, to get this running for my birthday?
Before your 70th birthday.
Oh. Now, did I make that hole big enough? So this bed cable is going to be able to ride to the top. So yeah, that's going to need some slack in there. Same with the thermistor cable. Is that hole big enough to fit this in though? Actually, no, I should feed this first. Thermistor cable first. There we go. And bed cables. Okay. There we go. I don't know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to make head nor tail of this mess over here, but we'll see. Oh, that thermistor cable is just going to be long enough, I hope. Okay. Did you have to lengthen your thermistor cable for your bed? Do you recall?
I don't remember doing it. I know I had to lengthen the one for, no, I didn't have to lengthen the one for the hot end. I don't think so, but
yeah,
I don't remember.
The bed cables here should be fine because they're just going, we should just have one going here.
But if you do lengthen the thermistor, don't put a connector on it. You want that signal to be as steady and constant as you can get. That way you don't introduce any noise to see fluctuations when you're PID tuning and stuff.
Now,
it's just one of those little things.
Now, your advice on this. This is because we're speaking main stuff now. So this is where I seek a little bit of advice. Mm-hmm. I have terminals that look like this. Mm-hmm. I have terminals that look like this.
I would, if you can, if it fits, use the ring terminal for anything that's mains. Just that way, it's not going to fall off. You can pull the wire out of the crimp before that terminal falls off, or even if the screw comes a little loose, it won't slide out. Either one's probably just as good, but it's just that little bit safer. In my opinion,
if I have the right size. So for the main 24-volt supply, I do have the right size. That's a blue one. And then
you're just asking for too much, Dennis. Stop it.
Would it be cool if you could see what I'm doing?
Can you throw the close-up on it?
I can throw the close-up on. Yeah, I can throw the close. So basically what I'm doing is picking this. So this blue one here, I'm going to pick to go. Bear with me. There we go. So that's going to be, this is going to be on the mains. And then I don't know if on the SSR, I don't know if this blue one, that's probably going to be too small. I'm probably going to want a bigger one for that. So let me just undo that.
Yeller.
Yeah, probably a yellow one for that. So now, it doesn't matter. I can pull. I'm not going to wire yet. I'm just getting it ready. So if we pull this right out,
is that the line side?
This is the 1L1. So line and then 2 / neutral. It looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like this one. I'll get a better view of that here, maybe. I don't know why the light is so harsh on that.
Hey, old curmudgeon.
But yeah, it looks like this one will definitely take the yellow ones. So the yellow one will definitely fit on that. Okay. That's an awful camera angle. You know what? Let me try one more different thing here because it is frustrating when you can't see what somebody's doing. So let's try this. Let's see if this one's any better. Here we go.
That's pretty good.
There we go. Yeah, that one works. So there we go. So there's the Yellow one round is going to work best for that, for all of these coming into here. And then for going into the main up here, it'll be the blue one, which is going to work best. Now, I've seen other people actually go with ferrules and tighten ferrules, but it's the same thing. You don't want to be able to pull out. And I kind of see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. You know, you really don't want to use a ferrule under there if you don't have to. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll screw this back in there.
But sometimes you have to.
Yeah. Okay, so now what we're going to do, now I'm all conscious about my camera work here. I'm a one-man show here. Oh, well, I don't mean to say Jason's not a man, but actual in physical body here, I'm a one-man person, so it's a little difficult for me too. So what I need on this, so this is from the bed. So one end of this bed, okay, if I switch here, so one end of the bed is going to go to the line. Okay, now this is where I get confused because there's no instructions for this.
So that top one that you removed from the SSR, put one end of the bed there, and the other end of the bed will go to your AC input right there. If that's where you want to pull power from, put it there on on the line side.
You have an L, N, and a ground.
Right.
So I want it on the L.
For that one, yes, yeah, because you want the SSR to basically break the hot side of your mains pair. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
So the debate is still open on. You see what Astro's saying about you here?
No, I don't pay attention. In fact, oh, did I just slip and put him in timeout? Darn it.
Now, where's my crimper for this?
See you in 5 minutes, Liam.
Do I have a crimper for this? I should. Where did I put my crimpers?
What happened to your hands of steel? The vice grip like hands.
What? Just go like this. Go. Yeah.
There you go. That's it.
I wonder if any of these will work on this. I don't think these are designed. Maybe this. I wonder if this one is designed for that.
No. It looks like it, but I don't think that's right. Right.
No. I'm just trying to find where I put it. I had it just the other. I had it. This one. I think this one will work for it. Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah, and then that's blue, and this is color coded. Look at that.
Yeah.
So it's the blue one. We go on the blue side, but we got to come in from the back. We got to come in from behind. Don't go there.
Kieran.
Let's see. That looks like it did it. That did not work. Okay. Good thing I got lots of extras. Blue.
Glad I didn't say anything about the color coding making it DWIT proof.
Yeah, no kidding.
It looks like you're going to have to put it in there a little bit further until you can see the wire at the top of the ring.
Yeah.
Not the top of the outer ring, but where it wraps around the wire. Yeah, you want it. You really don't want it to go past. It's okay if it goes past a little bit, but
I see. Yeah, and I
like
don't think
flush up there. Yeah.
I don't think I got it in there quite far enough. Yeah.
Yes, that's what she said. Yeah, pull on it real good. That's the one you really don't want to come off. So
that's the one you really don't want to come off, right?
Try to take some of that fabric, a little bit of that fabric off, so it fits inside the terminal better.
I wonder if these stripples will work on this kind of wire. Let's see.
Grab the doomers.
Wow, no, not at all. This is almost like a cloth insulator.
Yeah.
So maybe what I need to do here's everybody's chance to see me maybe cut myself. No.
Reset the time. Yeah, come on. Reset. Reset. Yeah. Just try not to nick into the
wire.
the plastic sheath. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. And there's no wire come off. There we go. I got to trim the tip of this a little bit. It's a little too much. Oh, that went everywhere. Oh, that's the type of thing when you vacuum, you hear all these little pieces being picked up. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. We have some definite
All right.
showage.
Now, before you crimp it, how many of those do you have left?
Oh, 20.
Okay.
30.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just wondering if it's crimping tight enough. No, or if I should go to the red, go a little smaller.
Don't go to the red. Use the blue. Yeah, because you'll end up tearing into the that plastic insulation.
Okay, here we go.
But use those vice grip hands and give it a good.
Oh! Okay, now
Give it a good test.
it could be the fact that these were cheap Amazon. Okay, there's a test. You know, see this entertainment value, everybody. I'm going to cheat and go to the red one, or hold on. Let's go. Where the heck did I put it? There we go. Why don't we go old school with this? And why don't we just use one of these old school style crimpers?
Okay. Okay.
Instead of these newfangled whippersnapper type, young whippersnapper type things.
We call them professional tools. We understand if you can't use them. Just go with what works.
You got okay, fine. I'm going to try the red one on this because I have a feeling the sizing's a bit off.
Okay.
There we go. Now, are we ready for the pull test? There. That worked.
Okay. So now you need to calibrate your Ender 3 and your crimpers. Gotcha.
Calibrate. I guess the crimper calibration is this little thing here. That little dial.
Sometimes, yeah.
Anyways,
some of them have an adjustment.
One. Without further ado, I'm going to strip down a little bit.
No, don't.
On this one?
Don't.
Oh, no, not me. The wire.
Just be clear.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there went the viewers. It's tanking.
Yeah. No
Come
doubt.
back.
30. I'm surprised there's 30 people on here. There we go.
It's 29 now.
29 now. Now we got to cut this. Try not to spray this all over the place. There we go. Right on the table. Okay. Yellow. Toil and tillow. So does that mean for the yellow one, I'm going to have to use the blue on this thing? Yeah, I think man. Well, let's try it. Nope. Come on. Like a pair of friggin' vice grips to try and open it up. Now, there we go. Come on. There we go. Don't pay attention to that noise. It was nothing anybody needs to concern themselves with. Man, there's different size yellows.
Yes, because the yellow really denotes the size, the gauge of wire that it can accept, not necessarily the size of the ring on the outside. So
yeah. Okay. Let's see if this yellow one works on the yellow thermodingy here. Pull test.
Spartacus, what problems did you have with the Dragonfly hot end?
Okay, that's good. Okay.
I've never used one, but maybe somebody here can help you.
Use my molars for the yellow, John? Okay. That's okay. It worked now. I don't have any molar tools. These are all IWIS and no name.
But
Okay. So.
Where's Jerry when you need him?
Yep.
It's pronounced molar. Thank you.
Molar. Okay, so what we're going to do, just so I can at least say I started wiring this thing. Now, is there anything else going to go to this one?
Yeah.
What else is going to go to this one?
Okay, so from one leg of your bed, so take one of those white wires and put it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do one wire at a time.
Okay. I got to unscrew that again. Oh, this is fun. Get out of my way, you cable. People cannot see past you. Okay, one bed wire. Here we go. Don't worry, folks. There's no electricity running to this yet. You will not, I repeat, you will not see me hurt myself yet.
Yet. You heard him, yet.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Dominic, and I heard, I don't think I read it, I heard that they're going to throw a patent on it, or have tried to put a patent on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice, I have one here, if anybody wants to see it.
Do you have, is yours the final, or were they the beta nozzles?
Mine was the one I have. I have the first two betas.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, where did I put it? I don't know if, where did I put it? I swear it was right here. So, let's see, because I'm pretty much allowed to show it now. But I'm pretty sure that this is one of the main differences between this and the final one is I don't have the silicone cover on the
That's
end.
The knurled, the early knurled ones, yeah.
The knurled one, yeah. So but the premise is basically the same, where the nozzle change will just be a matter of cooling it off, and then boom, boom, unscrewing, and there's your nozzle. So, and then putting it back in. People are all concerned about the spring in here, but what you got to realize is that once this is tightened up, so your heat sink is going to be fixed to whatever it's going to be fixed to, and then once you get the nozzle in and tightened up, there's going to be no movement here. That spring is just basically to give separation and to give separation when you're loosening that. But then that is extremely tight in there right now. So, yeah. But
yeah, Jerry, I was working yesterday.
And then that's I got a 0.8 nozzle with it as well, and also a like a buck converter. Basically, this is a reduce for the fan to 5 volts. I believe this is a 5 volt. Yeah, 5 volt out, 24 volt in. Yeah, so that's her. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna buy them anyways. I'm definitely gonna buy the kit for my Prusa and give it a shot. So
no light speed. It's not possible. That kind of stuff never happens, ever. We know this. Ever.
What?
LOL.
Raptor copy the V7. No, never. So now I want the other heater cord. So
that's going to go to your power supply.
That's going to my L?
To the N.
the N. No, no. Okay, so L is what? Live?
Line.
Line, and N is neutral.
Neutral. Yeah.
And the other one is ground.
Yes.
I
So
always thought-
the bed, yeah, the bed's going to be grounded on a separate wire, and for power, you need an input and a return path. So that first wire that goes to your SSR, that's going to be the hot side, basically, or line.
Right.
That's going to be what feeds the hot to your bed heater. The neutral will always be connected, and it's kind of like a fake, loop ground, kind of, sort of, but not really.
I've always thought neutral and ground were the same thing.
They're similar, but not yet. Yeah, ground goes to ground for sure. Yeah. The neutral is just the other side of your load.
There we go. We have our first 2 wires connected. We are on our way. Yay! Okay, so now the next step. What's my next step? Is to
what do you want to do?
Well, I know all these wires. I know I've got to run and plug into the main board.
Do you want to do power first, or do you want to do?
I think I want to do power first.
Okay.
Well, I've got a clean sort of looking opening there. So,
okay.
So for power, now I don't have my side panel on. We discussed this sort of off camera a little bit. Where did I put that switch that I had brought out? I had it out because I showed it to you. There it is. Oh, come on. There, the main camera. So I have this switch now. I've got another different one coming. Apparently this was very misleading because when I read this on Amazon, and I've taken the link off of my page, this said 15 amp. But when you read the back of it, so here's what we're looking at here is the power switch, the mains. This said 15 amps on Amazon, but when you look at the back of it, and I believe it was right up in here. Yeah, right up in here. It's tiny, tiny print. You won't see it on camera, but it says 10 amps, 250 volt. So it's only 10 amp versus a 15 amp. So a really good savior is sending me a 15 amp plug. It just hasn't arrived yet. So I'm going to hook this one up in the meantime. It's not going to kill it to use this until the other one arrives. So, yeah.
No.
So there we go. So if I'm hooking this up now, if I were doing this on my own without a professional like Jason helping me.
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at something else. I didn't mean you, Tim.
Oh, that's okay.
My bad.
No worries.
Oh, so don't put your terminals away yet, because you're gonna need to make a wire, essentially, to go from the L side of the power supply down to the SSR.
L side to the SSR on the opposite side. So in other words, where's my camera here? So I'm going to make a power line that goes from L down to this side.
Nope.
Down to
back
here.
where you are. Right there.
Oh,
yes.
L. So it's one L1. So line 1. So from here to here.
Right.
Okay.
So what's going on here is you're going to have mains voltage come from that L terminal, the line terminal, into the SSR. Okay. Inside the SSR, there's basically a switch, and it's a normally open switch so that the circuit is open, not connected to the bed normally. The other half of that SSR is a DC input, and it's going to take the signaling from your main board that says, hey, turn the heater on, and that's going to tell that switch to close and allow the mains voltage to enter your bed heater.
Okay, so in other words, I get it. So this side is going to be coming connected from here.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I need a wire. I happen to have some nice heavy gauge 12 or 14 wire here that I can use to go from my lined out on my WeHo. I keep wanting to call it a meanwhile. My line out on my power to my line on my SSR. Mm-hmm. So I need about.
You said it wrong.
My doomer thingy.
Oh,
No, a boot.
a boot. About. I don't do a boot. I say about. I don't need a long piece, but I'm going to have a little slack. So just about that. A boot. Just about that much there, boot. And I
Hey.
only need one wire, and that's just one wire. Okay. Okay.
Is that silicon coated wire or just like the regular? Yeah.
It's a silicone. Is that going to be okay?
No, that's fine. That's nicer, I think.
It's really nice to touch. Okay, I know. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Really nice
Don't start rubbing your wire now.
And I only need one, so I'm gonna, since it's a line, I'm gonna make it the red one. Okay. Close up.
Technically, it could be black, but red's fine.
Well, red means hot to me.
Well, let's say when you remove a light switch in your house, what color are your wires there? Are they black, white?
Yeah, they're black.
Or do you have the blue brown? You don't have the blue brown, right?
No, they're black, white, unless it's a three-way switch. It's black, white, red.
Yeah, and the black is hot. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so we got black going here. I changed my mind.
Oh no, dude! If you look at it, like if it's a visual thing, like don't touch it, it's red, danger, kind of thing. Then
well, but anyways, so let's grab a yellow camera. And again, sorry about the camera work, everybody. But again, I am alone.
So Barticus, what's going on here is that the bed is pulling its power directly, essentially from the wall, and the rest of the steppers, the hot end, that's getting power from the power supply. That's why your 5 Plus pulls almost 600 watts, and this one is going to pull closer to about 100, 150 watts, maybe, with just the hot end, the fans, the stepper motors. It really just depends on how much stuff he connects to it. But for this standard configuration, a 200 is good. Yeah. Yeah, and he's got it. His bed heater is a 1500 watt heater, and he's on a 120 volt line. So you're looking at about 12 amps or so ish max,
so
right?
I think I have to go
without a calculator.
I got to go to a blue one for this. Yellow's, the wire's not thin and thick enough for yellow. Ooh, wrong color, Tim. I know, old curmudgeon. I need a blue one. I just figured it out. There we go. Blue on blue. But I had to squish the blue with the red one last time to get it to work. So we're going to do that. I got to calibrate these crimpers. Come on out. There we go. Okay, that's in there. And it was blue for the other end as well. I'm all new to this electrical stuff, so. But this is where I guess, if I didn't have you on chat with me, or people in the chat, this is where I could go to the forums and talk to people about this, I'm sure. There we go.
Yeah, the Discord,
yeah,
and the Facebook, even the Facebook, surprisingly, a lot of people know this. A lot of the Facebook groups can be a pretty rough place. The RatRig one is really good, and their Discord is really good. Yes, you get the random space engineer, astronaut guy that invented the universe jumps on, but you're going to find them pretty much anywhere and everywhere. But for the most part, I'd say 98% of what you get from folks in the RatRig groups is helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
not hurtful.
I had a comment, and I ignore it, and I don't take things personally, but I had a comment on, I did an old video when I did a stepper driver update on a Anycubic i3 Mega.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the comments, first thing the person did was call me cocky. And then he said, you really should know how to use your multimeter if you're streaming about this. Well, I'm not overly familiar with a multimeter. And I do tell people that part of my streams is I'm learning as I go with everybody else. So yeah, I may not be the best at using a multimeter, but at least I'm making an effort to learn it. So, and I will go and do, and no, I didn't know how to use it necessarily. And it was a new multimeter to me. So anyways, I kind of shrugged that off. I've never been called cocky in my life. I found it kind of humorous, actually. So there we go. We have a line here to the line from the power supply. Okay, now I guess I should build a cable from here up to the board. And now on the board, let me see on that board what those are. If let's just share this screen here. So if I zoom into this part here, we have coming from the power supply into the board, we have our main, and on the power supply, it's not really showing where, that's obviously going to be on the output. So a V minus and a V plus. And so the red would be the V plus, black would be the V minus.
Right. That's just DC input to power the board. Yeah.
And then we're coming out from the board to the SSR in the opposite side, red and black. Okay.
And if you notice even visually that the wire gauge that they're depicting looks like it's smaller for the bed, and that's because really that's just signaling.
That's just a signal wire versus this one, the power wire.
Is carrying the 24 volts. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I will make that out of the same gauge wire for the one going to the power supply. So we need, let's go back here, about, we need about.
This one wasn't about you.
Okay, that's fine. So we need to come from here. And again, I want wire management, so we're going to probably string this underneath. And we're going to come like this. And then we're going to come from here over to here. And I'll actually cable tie all these after. So I'm going to say right about that much there. Okay. I'm trying to give the views of the camera so people can actually see what I'm doing as I talk about it. And whoever yeah, you're right. Huh?
Remember your smaller power supply. Try not to have so many wires kind of blocking or getting very close
to this one, right?
To those terminals. So it's probably they're all sheathed and everything, but give it some clearance if you can. Yeah.
Well, then I could always just come above this too.
Absolutely.
No, the only reason I want to go below. It doesn't matter because
just hold it up a little higher with a wire tie. One of your stick-on clips or something. Yeah.
One of these guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Just want you to be conscious of if you've got terminals, try to keep them clear of stuff.
Yeah.
That way they're visible to you too. So when you go to stick your hand in there, if you just see a bunch of wires, you're not tapping yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, because we got the bad wires coming in, so they're good and clear there. This one I would probably end up tying up this way a little bit, which is no problem. And if I come, let's see, on the SSR, no, this is just going to the board. This isn't going to the SSR. So this is going to go from here just up to the board. And again, I can tie that up. Yeah, okay. Okay, we will be aware of that. So let's go back here. Let's use my manly vice hands to separate those wires. Oh, look at that.
Oh, so strong.
Ready? We're going to do it again. We're going to, look at that. Okay.
Chicka bear now.
Bow wow. And then we're going to strip. Honey, I'm using strippers again.
Mm-hmm.
They're not costing me a nickel. She probably gave up watching a long time ago.
You hope.
Well, let's see. She hasn't messaged me, so I should bear with me. While I do this, I'm just gonna quickly go to OBS, and I'm gonna bring this up like this, so that I'm at least in the picture while I'm working, because I don't know. I just kind of think that's a little bit better of
Yeah.
There we go. At least I'm in the corner, so you can still see me when I'm, and you can either watch me or watch close up. So, and these will
Don't
all
watch
be
me.
Don't watch Jason. These will all be blue. Let's see. I think I have a whole bunch of blues over here in this kit. And these kits are so cheap on Amazon. They're probably, I don't know, they're probably not the best, but as long as they do the job.
They're good enough for, what we're doing. Yeah.
I wouldn't do household wiring with it, but no.
No, I mean, I wouldn't build a house with them, but, they're good enough for what we're doing. So you crimp that, and I will be right back.
Okay. Man, I got to carry the conversation all by myself too now, which is all right. So hi, how's everybody doing tonight? Hey, what you doing? If you're still married, she definitely isn't watching. Maria comes on my stream. She's very supportive. And she watches a lot of my streams too, but she is out of town right now. She's actually down in, West Palm Beach. West Palm Beach. I hate when these little flies get in my face. You were good, Matt? Good. There we go. And we'll put some blue ones on the end of this one. So, yeah, anybody out there that's getting a RatRig, thinking of getting one, that's intimidated maybe by the fact that it's big, I've never done anything this big before. I was hesitant as to whether I could do it or not. It's way over my head, as you can see with all the questions I have with the electrical parts here. But don't let it stop you. This is the way you learn. And I'm not streaming this because I know everything. And anybody who's on my stream and subscribe knows that I don't claim to know everything. And that's why I'm happy to have Jason on here and all the people in the crowd that know a lot more than I do about this. Because without help, and yeah, I would probably look it up online or something if I didn't have your help me, but without help, I would be pretty useless with this part of the job. The frame building, the wire running and stuff, I could probably get away with. But when it comes to this part here that we're doing now, no, this is where I need the help and the software. So
I'm here to help you not feel useless, Tim.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. And the software part is intimidating to me as well. But again, I'm not afraid to learn. There we go. We have crimped cables. Now on this back view, I'm not. So I'm going to put myself on the back view as well. I'm going to add a camera. The nice thing about OBS is I can do it while we're streaming live. Add me here. Look at that. Just like magic. Stick myself down in that corner. And just like that. And the dog has started barking. So now we're going to pick a V plus and a V minus. We will just go to a random spot. No, I'll just...
Oh, did you put ring terminals?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You don't need to for the DC, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Well, I did.
Anything else that falls out of there, once the wire comes loose, won't have power.
Oh,
so
I get it.
So you'll be okay.
So I didn't need to use. Okay.
Didn't need to on that one, no.
Oh, well, since I got them crimped, I'll just keep them on.
But now that they're there, I wouldn't redo them. I would just,
Yeah. Minus, we'll have black. Because that's usually what it is with DC, is black minus, red positive. I'm positive about that. I know a few things.
Weeble, yes. This board is the Duet Wi-Fi 3 Mini, Duet Mini Wi-Fi 3, whatever. It's some combination of that, and it runs RepRap. I believe there is a clipper config for it, but not the 6HC. You'd have to double check. It may not be a perfect build, but I believe there is one for the 3 Mini. I know there is one for the 2.
There we go. I have to have my advertising in the background. Okay, now we're going to come up to, we're going to go up here, right up to here. Now, according to my drawing, let me just make sure that's right. Black is on the right, red is on the left. Yeah, black and red. Yeah, I can see why I should have just used U terminals on this, but that's okay.
Bardicus, so that board has 5 steppers native, and then there's also what he's got on there is an expansion that adds 2 additional stepper ports so that you can have 2 off of 1 kind of thing.
Yeah, and those are,
so, yeah, and they have additional drivers for each.
Expansion.
Well, that really didn't. So that came out wrong. Not 2 off of 1, but 2 off of that 1 expansion board. And they'll each have their own driver. So now technically he's got 7.
There we go. That's a better view of it. Yeah, so that's the expansion board part right here.
Yeah.
Adds the 2. Okay, black is on the right.
What's the difference between the Duet main board and Duet Mini? Nothing. It's just what we're calling it. They're all main boards. This one is just the Mini. Then above, the next one up from that is the 6HC, and it has 6 drivers on it already, I believe. So you don't necessarily need the expansion for the drivers unless you're going to add more things. You can put some tool boards in. And expand it that way.
Why I undid it is I just forgot to run it behind the heater wires. I'm anal when it comes to cable management. I really am. Mm-hmm.
So the reason that he's using Duet here is this is their standard configuration from RatRig. They basically they go with Duet and say, hey, our standard configuration is based off Duet. That's really the only reason that he's got the Duet here. He just bought the standard configuration kit rather than doing a custom where he could have chosen a Big Tree Tech board or something else.
Okay, so now I just need to run a little cable from the relay to the board, which is the switching command cable, basically. As you said, it tells it to come on and off. And that I'll just do the U ones. I won't, so I'm just gonna. Yeah, I just went with the standard configuration because I don't know what I'm doing. I would not know what kind of a board to buy to go with it. I'm not a clipper person. I've never used clipper. So apparently you need a different board to run clipper. I don't know.
Well, you know, on RatRig's site, if you go with the custom configuration, they offer you other components that are compatible. So you don't necessarily, it's not this nebulous internet world of things to try to find and figure out. Right. They'll offer you the SKR 1.2 Pro. I don't know if they offer the Octopus or if they're planning to or not, but they do give you some options. So you can get the 6HC from Duet. You can get the Duet 3 Wi-Fi Mini, which is this one. You can get the SKR 1.2 Pro from them, and they have for Clipper, their vCore OS is basically kind of like a that's not a good crimp, Tim. Just
No,
just
well,
let you know.
that, and again, that's the RAM setting on this. I think this thing needs calibrating.
Yeah.
No, actually, you can't crimp anymore because that's you're not going to. Yeah, so these things.
Yeah,
are
that's it.
Yeah,
so their vCore OS, which is Clipper, has configurations for the SKR 1.2 for the Octopus, and it's kind of, well, if you've ever installed Clipper, you know Clipper is easy to install. Barticus, I thought Clipper was RatRig default. No, it's not. It's not the default, but it is the less expensive hardware route, and Clipper is very popular right now. You know, it's the new thing, and it does a lot of stuff. Has some features that others don't quite have yet. So it's just, you know, kind of which way do you want to go is really kind of what it is.
Here we go.
Yep, and Aaron's got a point. You can do that too. You can take some 1.4 boards, and you can use 2 of them, or you can use 2 mismatch boards. As long as you set your configuration up correctly, and you tell it this is what it's got. This is, you know, these are the ports you're using. This is what they're going to do. Clipper is pretty easy, mainly because I think that the interface, when you're getting into the configuration, it's in pretty plain language, where Duet can get a little tricky right out of the gate. Once you kind of get used to it, it's like anything else. You know, Marlin made no sense to me until I started really looking at it. Duet made no sense to me till I started using it and looking at it. Clipper was strange to me until I started using it. So,
too big of connectors? Yeah, these are the smallest connectors I have, John. So I'm just using. What is this? I don't think this one's any smaller. No, that's about the right same size.
you want to just use a bigger gauge wire, because that's oversight. You want to get a wire where it's as close to the inside diameter of the
Let's see what I've got here. I could just use this same. I could just use the same wire I used for the other one. Overkill, but I'd rather overkill than underkill.
Yeah, Barticus. You know, depending on what machine you have, so many machines are supported now. You know, just give it a shot. Sometimes it's a straight install. Sometimes you might have to flip some connectors around or move a wire here and there. But it's really not as hard as a lot of people first imagine. Once you do it, you look back and you go, it wasn't as hard as I imagined it would be. Yeah. No tripod. You don't fold the wire over to make it thicker inside the crimp, leaving a weak strain point at the end of the connector. No wonder everything you have catches on fire. Come on.
Okay, port tripod. I think this is the size for blue. Yeah, it is.
So David Wilson joined in. Hey, David.
Hey, David.
Installed vCore OS using the Octopus. Yep. I've got I don't know, I think 2 Octopus boards sitting around somewhere. I haven't used them yet.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, sorry, John. Did you say not? You can fold away. It's still not recommended. Okay. Yes. All right. I retract half the statement. I still stick by all your stuff catching on fire. But as far as the other part of it, That's on me. My bad.
There we go. That's better. Yeah, right connector, right wire thickness. If I have it, I may as well use it. Hi, Waylon. I'll get you on screen in a minute, buddy. We'll have an moment for the dog.
Yeah, Bardicus. You know, I think the real appealing thing about RatRig is you can get everything from them. You know, their documentation is really good. Like any other documentation, you know, it could use some improvements here and there. A lot of that is opinion and how people read things, but it's good. And everything you need comes in one box if you want it to, and that helps.
He wanted to say hi. He might have to go outside too. I have to. Hi. Oh, you're licking my ear. Hi, Waylon. We'll go back. Maybe safer to build a VCore 0.1. Isn't that a tiny, tiny little thing? There you go. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I'm just going to open the door for this guy. Okay.
Yeah, Weeble. So the VCore OS is mostly pre-configured. So it's the template is there, the configurations are there, but you get one install for all three sizes of the RatRig, and then you would go through the your configuration file and essentially uncomment. This is the size, the build volume of the printer. This is the hot end and extruder combination that I'm using. These are, heck, I think that might even just be it. Maybe the type of thermistor, just a few things, and it makes it very easy, which is one of the things that Clipper is known for. It is an easy thing, but like you said, even to build it, yes, I think doing a build of it and compiling it through their builder is simpler and easier to understand than when you're going through the Marlin, compiling Marlin. I like that you get like 6 questions here. This is the CPU it has, you know. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I on mine originally I built it with Duet and ran RepRap, and it ran great. I wanted to mess around with it, so I pulled that board out and put in the SKR 1.2 and threw Clipper on it, and it runs great. Do I see a whole lot of differences between the two? No. The web interfaces for both of them are great. I wish that, and it may just be me, maybe I just haven't bothered to look on how to do it. I do wish the web interface for Clipper could go widescreen instead of being in the middle, kind of like the Duet web interface fits your screen automatically, but that's a personal preference thing. But in terms of you know, which one do you want to do? That's really just up to you. They'll both work. They'll both work well. For me, they both printed fast. Yes, you get input shaper right now with Clipper. You will get that coming soon. You can get it now in a beta of RepRap in standalone mode, but it's, you know, you got where 3.1 was, it went to 3.2. 3.2 was kind of the stepping stone where they added a bunch of things that they were going to need for 3.4. 3.3 came out. Hey, we're going to need, you know, we added a bunch of libraries and things that we're going to need for 3.4. As 3.4 comes around next year, I think it's supposed to be like April to May time. You'll see what they have coming around. So, and it's really just a preference. Crowd's not sharing this works for the extra. I would 100% use these for sensors. What is that frame sitting back there where the S5 is supposed to be? If you're asking me, so the silver frame, the silver extrusion frame is a 500 by 500 DIY core from 3D Fused. I haven't finished the build yet. I just got it down to the wiring. The smaller one with the darker extrusions, that is a boron 2.4, or will be. I got to print some parts.
There you go. So we have going out in, positive, negative, and then we're going to the power supply. So we have all this kind of, all that part kind of going. Look at that. Next,
hey Dougal.
Now are we looking now? We were talking about grounding before as well, right? But so,
yes, you eventually do want to ground things, yeah.
So now
grounding is good. Sorry.
Now we're looking at hooking this up to the power supply. So we have blue and red. Blue is going to be the neutral, I would guess, and then the yellow is going to be the ground. Yeah, yellow is ground. Blue is going to be, I don't know how these people would think. I shouldn't say these people, that's wrong. Where this is manufactured in China, it's hard to tell whether blue, because here I'm used to black and red. Here we have blue and red, and I have no clue.
So if you look on the back of that switch assembly, you should see near the terminals, they should be marked in the plastic some way, what is what.
You would
like
think.
what's your input, your output, or your line, your neutral, your ground.
Yeah.
The other thing that you can do is use a meter.
Yeah,
and you can see where everything's going. Yeah.
Yellow is definitely a ground. I mean, that's no brainer because there's the ground pin on here, and that's where the yellow's coming in. Yellow's my ground.
Then now the red is likely going to be the line. The blue is likely going to be the neutral. You could get them backwards. It wouldn't make a difference. But you see that bar, that little bus bar, that shiny bar. Yeah, so that's the side that's supposed to be hot because that's where your fuse is.
Right.
Yeah,
and we have because we have the hot coming into the fuse, the neutral coming into the fuse.
Right, and it looks like that particular switch will disconnect both the hot and the neutral when you flip the switch. It's not, in this application, I don't feel like it's an absolute need. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I'll check. I'll get the meter out and check it. But then there's some people that say, "Hey, he doesn't know how to use his meter." Where did I put my meters? I have 2 of them, but I'm going to double check. Let's just go to the big camera for your entertainment value. Now I'm going to actually put live electricity into something. If I can find a power meter.
Bardicus, if I could offer my 2 cents on that linear rail conversion, where you're gonna on an S5, where you're gonna see the greatest benefit would be on the bed. You're not going to see much of a benefit on the X. But I would suggest save your money and put it towards a RatRig if you were going to go that route anyway, because you're just really putting a shiny brass doorknob on an outhouse when you start doing that on that printer. I've been there, done that. Take it or leave it. I'm not expecting much from the rail mod, but I'm doing more for the experience since I've never done it before. Yeah, I mean, linear rails are nothing. If you can put a screw in an anchor nut, then you can do it on any printer. That's what a linear rail is.
Figures. Where is my meter? I have not used my meter since I switched my studio around.
You could just use your fingers.
I could use my tongue.
Yes.
I have 2 meters. I use the meter.
Well, you didn't ask till now, Bardicus. Sorry. Did you keep the receipt?
Huh. Well, where would I have put the multimeter? There it is.
Dougal said use a meter stick.
Good one. Yeah. And let me grab a power supply. Oh, I have a power supply right on my. I have a power supply right here on my welding station. Okay.
If you were never going to use ABS temperatures or close the Voron, would you print it in PETG? You could probably get away with it. I know it's spec'd for ABS, but I don't know why you couldn't. I don't know why you couldn't. Maybe somebody else knows. Okay.
There we are. Power on, power off. Power off till I get my meter ready. I want AC volts. I want.
Well, no, you don't want AC. You're not going to measure voltage right now, right? You just want to see which wires
On or off, right?
are you.
Positive.
Oh, are you going to run a plug into it?
I've already run. There's already a plug in it.
Oh, okay. Be safe.
Yeah. 200
The insurance
volts.
company is going to use this video against you. Just letting you know. Okay.
Fine. It's not on yet. Just give me a second. This is where it gets exciting. This is what draws the viewers.
Yes. Somebody tweet out right now. Tim is playing with live voltage. Oh no! Don't do it! Don't do it! Please stop him. Here, I want to see the smoke. In this case, the smoke might actually come from Tim, so be careful.
Okay, I might have. Oh, okay. No wonder. I don't want resistance. I want voltage. There we go. Resistance is easy to measure.
Resistance is futile, actually. Well, you know what you could do is, you could print it all in PETG. It's a ton of parts. And if it just doesn't work out and you don't have a way to print ABS, you can, put your name in the hat for the PIF scheme. And I think it's like a 3 or 4 or 5 month list right now, waiting to get up to somebody printing your stuff. It's a long list. But there you go.
122 volts. Blue is negative. Red is positive.
You said 122 volts.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. It's going to burn out your RatRig. It can only take 120.
Oh, come on.
I think if you look, it says 120 on it.
Yeah, but isn't that's standard household voltage I'm getting right there? That means no matter what I do, I've got 122 volts coming into the house.
122 is kind of high.
Yeah, but who says my meter is accurate? Who says I was using my meter properly?
No one, ever.
No. Ever.
You'll be fine.
I know. It's like he's probably going to try and scare me, and it's like, well, no, because this is true.
You thought about it. I could see the wheels. You were like, oh God, just shut up, Jason.
No, I thought, doesn't he realize that the voltage usually reads a little higher than 120?
Depends. Here it depends. Sometimes you get 110. Sometimes you get 115. Sometimes you get 120.
and this is a dumb question. I should know this because I've built.
There's no dumb questions, Tim. Only dumb people. What do you got?
But I am going in here, so I'm going to go line and neutral out of the plug.
Right. So the hot, right, the one with the plus 120 volts will go into L line voltage.
Yeah. And then the black will go into neutral.
Will go to neutral.
And then ground will go to ground.
Ground will go to ground. Now, this is where I know we talked before. Consider where you're going to ground everything, because that's not the only ground thing that needs to be grounded. So if you're going to make a central point, which you're going to want to ground the frame, because you need to ground the bed and all those different things. If you're going to do it to the frame like I did, then you're going to want to consider where all those wires should go.
Yeah, well, I know that based on my side frame, if I get this angle here, based on my side frame, this mains plug is going to go over here somewhere.
Okay.
So it's going to sit probably in around here.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So I've got to make new wires for this because these are not going to reach, which is no problem. So I can make new wires. Now I can just take the ground from the plug down to the frame.
Yes.
I think that's what you had done.
Yes.
Could that not even just connect to the back of the frame?
Well, yes and no. Couple things there. If you put it there, you've got the anodization in the way of getting a good connection to the ground. So what I did was on that most rear bottom extrusion was I drilled a little hole and brought all my grounds with ring terminals to one place, put a nice steel screw in it, and just drilled it right in to that pilot hole that I made. So I know that everything that's touching each other, all the terminals, the screw, have good continuity, and that screw is going right into the frame. Yeah.
So you drilled a hole somewhere down along here.
Yeah, wherever you want to put it. Mine was a little more centered, probably, not perfectly centered. That's just where mine ended up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I get it. So a hole here, and then you went from your switch to that ground terminal here, and then all your other grounds from your power supply, everything else went down to here.
All came down to that single ground point. Yeah.
That seems the most logical way to do it. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, but I do know that I need to, let me go back on here. I need to replace these. I need to replace these wires, probably all three of them, because these are too short to hit the power supply. So. Yeah,
and they're a little light on the gauge too.
They are,
in my opinion. But I mean, they're probably okay.
I'll go back to my silicone 12 gauge here. Sounds like a shotgun. I'm going to go to my 12 gauge, and we'll just make some new wire here again. Since we're in the making wire mode tonight, what are we at? We're at 7 o'clock already. 7 o'clock already. Oh wow! I've only got another half hour to go before I have to hang up. Okay, but no, this is good. I mean, we're making good progress because after we get all the mains wiring done, aside from the Raspberry Pi here, we need basically then it's just hooking up cables and wire management. So, yeah, which I don't necessarily, again, wire management I'm not going to do on stream. I'll show how I ended up doing it, but nobody's going to want to watch me go, okay, if I run this, no, not going to happen. No. So, okay, let's make a couple new pieces of wire. I need to use those flat type. Oh man, are these things even going to come off?
They have a little detent on them, so you either get a little screwdriver or pull really strongly.
Yeah,
manly. Give it a manly pull.
They got a plastic sheathing on them too. Oh yeah, manually pull it and it wrecked the whole plug. Okay, that one's garbage.
Did it really?
It did. It just ripped it.
So that little clear plastic coating, you can slide up the wire, and then you can get a small flat blade under there and prop them up. Pop them up.
Dun, da, da, da. Good thing that's why they come as 2-packs.
Probably.
They're cheap. Knife. There we go. See if I can do this time without breaking. So we'll cut this plastic off. There we go. Oh, I see. There's a little.
Yeah, usually in the center there's a bar and you can see like a little dent in it, and that fits when you slide it over the terminal, it fits into that center hole.
Oh yeah, okay. That tiny little hole right there.
Yeah, now you don't have to push on that or anything. If you've got just a flat screwdriver, that's gonna bend the tip of those for sure. But you don't necessarily need to push on that. If you just take a flat tip screwdriver, get underneath the bottom edge, and just use the body of the switch as a fulcrum, and just use it and push it straight off. That'll be fine.
Let me find a flat tip here. Not that side, this side. Where are you? Right there. Doesn't have to be big.
No, from the other end.
Oh, from this end.
Yeah, from that end. Yeah, that way the force is pushing upwards on the wire connector rather than really taking anything from the switch itself. It can just be on the edge, any edge. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay, I see. Okay. I don't have to take that one off. I may as well leave those little connector ones on there. Just this blue one. And cut the plastic. There we go. Get into this one. Come on, you little
language.
Yeah, I know. They don't give you much room to get in there.
No.
There we go. Okay, good. Got those off. And I'll do the ground. The ground I'm not sure, I'm not overly worried about, but may as well take it off while I'm doing it. Replace it too. Oh, Nick came off real easy. Okay, there we go. That first one was maybe just a fluker on there too tight. Okie doke. Okay, I just mark it up for me. I always drop something on stream. That just dropped my mini screwdriver bit collection everywhere. Everywhere. What are the chances I'm going to lose one?
Probably pretty good.
Probably pretty good. Blue was on the bottom. Yeah, the ground on the bottom. Okay, so let's find the appropriate clip for that. Not that one. The red one. So the red one, yeah, that's the same style. Okay. Are we dropping them like flies? No, we still have 30 people on. That's good.
Yeah, no, you got good people on here.
30 people like to see me drop stuff. There's got to be a comment on the droppage that just happened.
No, not at all. There's been actually some good discussion on printing some things. Good. So I think people have been watching the chat and nobody noticed you drop everything.
No, I'm surprised I didn't hear it. And I'm surprised I didn't swear out loud because there are little pieces everywhere.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, well. That's what magnets are for. You watch, those will be stainless and won't be magnetic. Okay.
Liam says 29 of the 30 are sleeping.
Probably. Again.
Hey, a view is a view, right? Still counts in the algorithm. So.
Okay, red. There we go.
Oh, well, welcome to the last 23 minutes, Stephen Poole.
Hey, Stephen Poole. Just a little bit late.
Kenneth Sang, non-fam. Were they on earlier? I didn't notice.
Yeah, well, non-fam said, nah, still here.
Yeah, he's always around.
Not
Whether you
boring
see him,
anybody.
whether you see him or not.
Not boring everybody too much. Okay, let's try this again. I'm not really a fan of these crimpers I'm using. I don't think they're uber professional, in my opinion. And I am using the right size connector. I just don't think I can use this particular crimper on this because I'm going to end up crushing this. Yeah.
So Matt German says once you're done building his printer there, you can just go ahead and send that to him.
That way, yeah, absolutely. You sure you want this one, Matt? You're a brave man.
He'll take everything but the wiring.
Everything but the wiring.
It's lighter ship, you know.
See, look at that. Old school crimpers and work better than, yeah.
There you go.
Better than anything. Let's go blue. Blue for black.
So that box of connectors underneath you, what brand is that?
This one right here.
Yeah.
This
What is it?
was given to me by my former father-in-law. He's had them for 100 years. It's called Sex Hour or whatever. Sex Hour. But they're old. Like they're really old. And then the one above me is just it's no name terminal.
Newer Amazon one, yeah.
Amazon ones, yeah. Okay, so we got those ones done, and then I need on the other end. I need again these ones being a main. I want this to be a circular one again. I assume because this is the main voltage coming in.
Where's it going to? Not at the end. Oh yeah, on there. Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't telling you yes for the switch side.
Yeah. And we'll do red. Hello, Waylon.
Yeah, well, curmudgeon. The iWis crimpers, they're pretty good. They can be hit or miss. I've had good luck with them. I know folks that have gotten some and they, weren't great. But that's the good thing on Scamazon, right? Is you can send it back and try another pair.
Scamazon.
Yeah. And then I've got my engineer ones too somewhere, but I like the ratcheting for certain things that I'm crimping. But the non-ratcheting ones sometimes will just be the right tool.
Yeah, like this ratcheting one for the blue connector. It doesn't do it nearly tight enough. So I'm just using it to get it basically. See what I mean?
Yeah. But like mine for those for terminal crimps, mine are Klein. So they
these are Amazon ones. So these I'm gonna end up getting something different. Yeah. So I'll do that, and then I'll just get the manual one, and I'll finish it off properly. There we go. So now this, where did I throw that other one in haste? I want to make sure. Where did I throw it? Where did I throw it? Coming back to me. Hi, Waylon. Hi, Waylon. See what happens when I just toss things around aimlessly? I lose them.
Oh, hey, Web3. First delivery of the Minion. I haven't seen it. I haven't been looking, but I haven't seen anything. I think the last thing I saw from them was they were still setting up, I think, really to get everything ready for them to go out. But that may have been a little while ago.
Come on.
You can do it.
There we go. We got that one hooked up there. Just got to do a ground one. Got this end to go to the power supply. And I just need to do a ground one, and I'm going to do what you suggested with the holes. So let's, where's my wire? I wonder if that'll be long enough for ground. No. If I move over here, I'm stepping on all the bits I spilled. Okay, here we are. Ground wire. We'll make that a little longer than necessary for now. And we'll make it black to keep it from getting confused with the hot coming from the power supply. And blue, blue, blue. Oh, that one won't work with it. That's right. That's too loose.
Yeah, that's not the right size connector.
No. Got to go a little smaller. That's all right. Live and learn.
All right, Dennis, we'll see you. Take it easy, buddy.
See you, Dennis. Blue, red. That's not red. It's only two sizes I have. What do I have in here? It's got to be a smaller one. I have none of them in here. Just the blue. Let's see, is the red. Will the red fit on this? Oh,
Yeah, it looks right. Yeah.
That looks right. There we go. Okay, power supply hooked up. And yeah, I'm going to end up trimming that neutral, that ground, because I'll drill a hole in here. Or I won't give you guys the pleasure of watching me drill a hole tonight. But we are at 7:20, 7:16.
Well, David Wilson, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. There's a little bit more wiring he's got to do.
Yeah,
but we're getting close. He might still get this done in less streams than Vector 3D. So
well
we'll
I'll tell you what I'm doing now. Let me throw these wires out so I don't get them mixed up.
Adam's not on, I don't think, so we can talk about him.
Is that Vector 3D, Adam?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's not on here, so we can talk about him.
Well, I liked his streams, but the thing about his streams, he didn't have you or somebody on the side helping him out, and I think he did all the wire crimping and everything on live. So
yeah.
I skipped a lot of that. So I'm going to call that because we're at 7:17. So I think we made some pretty good progress, actually. I look and say, man, we didn't get much done for a couple hours, but I took some time at the beginning to talk about the wiring, and we took, yeah. I gotta pick up all those bits. Anyways, so tonight's progress was basically getting some of the mains wiring going. We got the SSR connected for the heater bed. Actually, we did get the heater bed and the build plate all put together here as well. So the heater plate, the magnet on here, and then we got some wiring hooked up here in the back. This plug will I'm not even going to bother with this now because I'm sure the other one will show up sooner than later.
Yeah.
So we have that going. What I'm probably going to do off camera this week is do some cable management. I might even plug in the board. There's nothing really that I can teach anybody or anybody can learn by watching me plug stuff in the board, because really all I'm doing is following the diagram, this diagram here, for where everything goes. So, and I love the way they've laid this out. So if I do that little zoom in thing here, I mean, it shows you exactly where everything is going in this board. There's really nothing, I think, other than, making sure I've gotten the wires in the right locations, which when I did the crimping and everything and got these connectors all made, I made sure. But otherwise, it tells you exactly which motor gets plugged into where the BL Touch gets plugged in, et cetera, et cetera. Most of the stuff we did tonight was stuff that's off screen as far as hooking the mains, because they don't do the mains. I think that's a liability thing.
Well, and it's different all over the world, so who are they going to do it for?
Exactly, yeah. And they don't want to, yeah, that's so true, because they'd have to, consider every country, every different kinds of wiring, and different people
Keep
are
it
going
up to date.
Yeah, exactly. So I think off screen, what I'll do this week to get a good head start is I'll do some cable management. I won't get this hooked up quite yet. If this other plug comes in, I may throw the side panel on, but I still have to drill a hole for the side panel for this to go in. So, yeah. And also drill a hole for that to go in. Then I also have to drill a hole for my, where did I put it here? My network connection thing.
Yeah, don't cut the hole for the switch until the new one comes, because it's slightly different.
Yes, that's what I will wait. Yeah, I'll wait till the switch gets here, and I'll use my router to cut the hole in that side panel. So, or my my router tool.
Dremel.
Dremel. Sorry, did I say my Dremel tool? And I somewhere here I put that little plug, but it's on here somewhere. And then I've got to figure out where I'm going to actually have to wire the filament sensor in here somewhere, but I'm sure that there's something on this. I'll be able to read on this board where the filament sensor goes.
No, there's really nothing in there. I'll walk you through getting that set up.
Yeah, I do have another schematic of the Duet mini board. So somebody pointed
because it's not about where it needs to connect. So, like, and for maybe some people that don't know the Duet boards, the peripheral ports are I/O ports, so they're configurable. You can plug anything in other than the steppers anywhere you want, and as long as you tell it in the configuration, this is what's plugged into this I/O port, and it's using these pins, it'll work. Okay. What this does is because RatRig gives you a basic configuration, it's based off of this specific wiring connection. Yeah, but that's the
other diagram somebody sent me a link to, which gets into great detail of the whole board. So to me, that's all French to me. No offense to the Frenchman, I am French, but I don't speak it. But that's all gibberish to me. I kind of understand it if I look at basically all it's saying is that this port showing you where the 5 volt is, where the ground is on each of the ports. But it's not saying okay, this is,
and all those six ports are I/O ports, and You essentially say this end stop is on IO port 1, this end stop is on IO port 2, you know, this is on IO port 3,
That all
whatever
happens.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I will get everything. I'll get some cable management done. I'll probably get the cables plugged in here and get the cable management done. Hopefully for next stream. I see Stephen Poole said 9 weeks and we don't get to see smoke. Sad face.
He took a week off, so 8 really.
8 really. Yeah, I did take a week off, but I promise you one thing, Stephen, and I'm going to say this, and everybody mark my word. We're not going to see smoke. I promise. No smoke. Because this is going to go well because I'm very careful and I have a professional right here helping me. So no smoke. No smoke.
Now, smoke is on the other channel, that Garage Antiques 3D printing channel. Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to have ready for next week. I'm going to try and figure out some cable management up here as well. What I've done up here is I've got the hot end tied off pretty decently as far as the cables coming out. I utilize those two, right up here. So right here where the two zip tie cables were, everything up here is pretty neatly coming out of here. So this stuff is all going to actually head up that way. And so nothing is really going to interfere with, that'll head sort of to the back and up. So the hot end is all clear of wiring here. And then I'll figure out something with a cable loom. And Jason and I were discussing earlier something to stiffen that loom up. So I'm going to come up with something this week to figure out on that too. So that's where we're at. So next week, if I'm jumping the gun, tell me. But next week, we might even be able to hit the power button on this thing. Possibly. I don't know. Is that a possibility?
Anything's possible. It's probable. That's the question. So, and probable comes down to you, Tim. You know, what are you willing and capable to do?
Do we configure software before we turn the power switch on, or do we turn the power switch on to make sure everything's powered?
Yes.
There we go. See,
in this instance, you're going to want to have some power first, then more power later, because of how we're going to have to flash the Duet board. So, yeah, you're gonna flash it off of essentially USB power. Then you can turn it because you got to get the firmware on it. Then you got to flash.
We're flashing this board.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Board's flashed. Okay, dad jokes. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a text message from Maria. Let's see what she said. I don't know if I'm allowed to read it.
Get off YouTube. That's what she said.
He said he can't eat anything hard. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can read this out loud. Let's see. So Ethan's having some issues with new teeth coming in. And he's at his aunt's right now. And so he said, she's talking to her aunt, and she said, so he said he can't eat anything hard. I'm like, it's mashed potatoes. He said, no, it's too hard. I can only eat McDonald's. Oh, man.
So take him there and ask him which salad he wants.
Mashed potatoes is too hard. I can only eat McDonald's. I love that. That was funny. So, anyways, that's where we're at, guys. So, I think good progress. I think Stephen Poole, be patient. I think we're within the next 2 weeks probably. We can maybe. No, I don't want to jump the gun because I don't know how long software will take. But I'm thinking we can be pushing plastic by my birthday still.
Okay.
My birthday is October 30th.
Yeah. I think if you I think you can get through the software in one stream. I think you'll be able to do it. Yeah. The Duet takes a little bit longer than it does to do the Clipper, but no reason you can't get it done in one stream. It's like a 10-minute job. We should be able to get you through it in 2.5 hours.
Okay. Well, when you think about it, though, really,
the wiring I did, if I were to sit down, I could have done all my wiring and crimping and everything probably in 3-4 hours. If I did it on a live stream, it would be 2 or 3 streams.
Yeah.
With all the talking and everything. So the live streaming part. So if you're watching this build and you're saying, man, this is taking a long time to build. If you're not streaming, if you're just home doing this on your own, this would have been printing prints by now. I mean, easily. But because I wanted to live stream the experience, and we have the chats going and everything, then and I am speeding it up by skipping some of the mundane steps, like when I get this wiring, the wiring management for all this. This is a mess here. Next week, it's going to look pretty. As pretty as I think it should look. For all you OCD people that are still probably cringing about this little power supply here, too bad. So my wires may not run at exact 90-degree angles and stuff. So yeah.
Well, nothing else back there is exactly 90 degrees, so that's okay.
Oh, and this here is purposely like a big smiley face to show that it's happy. Okay, there we go. Okay, everybody who's been watching, thank you so much. It looks like we still have 27 brave souls that have hung on. We did deal with live power. I plugged in a live power supply to one of these things and measured voltage, so we took a risk. I don't think that's the way Jason was going to have me do it, but we took a risk and did it.
This was practice.
This was practice, okay? I'm not afraid of electricity. I'm afraid of what I do around electricity. So,
so Tim, are you going to do your giveaway of the small bit set? What happened to it?
It's on the floor. Well, that bit set actually goes with it's for my little electric screwdriver. And,
you said throwaway, not giveaway. Gotcha.
and actually, to be honest with you, it could have been worse.
Not that many fell out.
No, so if we look, we still have that many in. This side is the one that took most of the damage, but most of them stayed in because these snap in here pretty good. So there's probably half a dozen or so missing, which I should be able to find. So, and I think I have a crap load of these things. Let's see, are these magnetic? Let's just see. Oh, they are too. So those will be easy to pick up off the floor. There we go. Yep. I will get them.
Just don't let them all stick to the magnet and then the whole thing falls down that floor drain. Don't do that.
Oh, they're not near the floor drain, actually. They're this way of the floor drain.
I just imagine you getting them all stuck to the magnets and then you drop the whole thing right down the floor drain.
Yes, Liam, magnets are my friend. Look at that mini wow stick. Well, you like my wow stick, do you, John? Yeah, it's a nice little...
That's what I heard.
I made a lot of people go wow with this. And it's very quiet. Hang on here. Very quiet, but it's actually pretty good. It's got some pretty good torque to it. So anyways, I digress. I got to go. I have to go pick up a young boy.
And some McDonald's.
And some... No, he's not getting McDonald's. He's not getting McDonald's. He hasn't eaten by now. That's too bad. So...
Oh.
Well, we're going to call this quits for tonight, and we'll see everybody during the week on your streams, and we'll see everybody next Sunday. Probably go back to the usual 6 o'clock time. Just keep an eye for my posting when I do it. I'll decide on the time when I see what's going on later in the week as far as next weekend goes. So, but everybody who's hung out this far, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Jason, as always, I appreciate your help on this. It's been a fun ride so far, and when this is all done, I'm stretching it out because I like the company. So you're great to have on my streams. So we may have to do some more dual streams in the future. So, anyways,
Sounds
everybody
good.
who's still here, thank you so much. Everybody have a wonderful week. Jason, have a great week, and we will see everybody next Sunday. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye for now.